Hey y'all, this is another episode of the Average Man Podcast. I am the Average Man. I got my man, longtime friend, baseball coach, family man, father to a bunch of kids. Talking about mine. He got a few. He got a few kids, but But
I don't got no kids. Those are baby goats.
okay, good. So don't forget to like, subscribe. And so now we're talking about police reform. Um, Police reform for me, I, well, we just had a conversation. We just had a conversation. I don't. I know we need the police. I think we just need the right police. I don't think the police that we have here in Minnesota. I'm gonna keep it real 100. I don't think that all of those police are uh, not past the good old boy police. You know what I'm saying? I know some good officers uh, that I've dealt with through rec centers and things like that, but there's things that has happened in the state of Minnesota that just shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't have happened due to a bunch of different circumstances. But I'm feeling like we need the police. I don't feel like we need to defund, but I do think we need to retrain uh, and what was the word I used? Reestablish.
You said you wanted to change the culture of policing, get rid of the old guard, and bring in new
Yeah.
police.
Instead of having a police come into a house for someone with just mental illness. I mean, the police need to be able to recognize a person that is, you know, in a mental state. They should have got all that information from the 911 call. So once they get there, sometimes, what was that?
They do get that information sometimes, from the 911 call. A guy calls and says, "Hey, man, I just seen on my camera some guy was, scoping my house out or whatever. Could you send a cop over to see, check on my front, make sure everything's safe? Because I see him out front, but I don't know if he's still in the neighborhood." The cop shows up, he shoots the family dog. You know what I'm saying? He had the information. He done put the mom and the kids on the ground. He coming there like a cowboy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I said. It's police.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
Like they should
but
live with the community.
But coach, I'm saying if you take money from, then you don't have money to rebuild. That's what I'm saying. Like reform is what I want to do. Like I would rather for our police officers to be from the same areas that they were raised in or something. Like don't bring someone from South Haven, Wisconsin to police Northside.
I don't particularly listen. I don't particularly care where they were raised at. I care how they were raised. I care about their ethics, their morals. First of all, police should have more training than what they get out of the academy. They should understand the Constitution and the rights of the people way more than they do. We got to understand, first of all, when you're an officer, you're going into situations that are unpredictable. You might show up to a call and don't have all the information because the person was hysterical. Just like the story I was telling you, they get a domestic call. They don't know exactly what's all going on. Right. They get a 911 call. There's a bunch of stuff going on. They can GPS it. The officer shows up. This happened to one of my friends.
Right.
Shows up, see the lady. She's battered, beat up. He's trying to protect the lady. She's like, she don't want to press charges. He gets his better judgment. He's like, okay, well, his partner's coming in. As his partner's coming in, the dude grabs him. So he like, hey man, chill out. Dude, fuck you. He's like, no man, I said chill out. So the partner sees him grabbing him. The partner grabs him up. As the partner goes to grab him up, the lady hit him in the head with a damn bomb. I mean, and then you have to think cops are showing up to scenes where children being molested. Little children are shot. You know what I'm saying? Women are raped. A son's killed his mother and put her in a freezer. They're showing up to situations to where most humans aren't ready for this mentally.
No,
so they need counseling.
Now I hear you, but what you do is you go to this academy that, and I'm agreeing with you that it needs to be more extensive in the mental aspect and all of that, the culture aspect and all that. And I don't think it would be bad though to do that. Like, just have a longer session in the training department, because it just seems like they go out there for that little time. How much time do they get at the academy?
12 to 9 months.
12 to 9 months?
Depending on the size of the department. Because you could be in a smaller town and get probably 6 months. Some cops come from the military and they've been military police or they were in the military and they come with different. But it's about culture too. Because if you try to correct a fellow officer and the other officers aren't backing you up, you know what I'm saying? You're like, hey, Sarge, you're going too far. And you tell Sarge to back him up, and he tells, don't you fucking put your hands on me. Don't you ever touch me again. I'll see you at the station.
Or something like that.
I've seen it happen. You know what I'm saying? Where somebody actually, you know what I mean? And the other cops are just sitting there and don't say nothing.
I watched it. I watched it live. And I watched I watched the tragic burn down of a city after that, because when I first tuned in to when the news first came on with George Floyd,
yes,
just sitting back chilling, and then I saw Chauvin down on George Floyd, but I was watching these pedestrians standing there, man, like, man, you done been on them this long. You can get up off of them now. Y'all got them handcuffed. You know what I'm saying? And pleading with the police. And the one Asian cop was just get back type, And I was like, why is he? How is it?
And the two younger cops, you gotta think the two younger cops, they ain't been on the force that long.
Rookies.
They're following what these other guys are, you know what I'm saying? They don't know this man, you know what I mean? Like, and if they say something, it's going to be problem. Like I said, there was a chief, okay, of a department who had a cop who was just a problem. Other cops didn't want to work with him. The mayor had issues with him. But when he tried to get rid of that cop, so they got these unions that are powerful. A lot of money. They got councilmen who they're voting them in. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to lose all those votes. So you sign with the cop, even though you know this cop is a problem. This man was writing so many DWI tickets and all these tickets they was writing. And when the chief tried to get rid of him, they fired the chief. Later on, this cop got them into a lot of trouble. We ended up costing them a lot of money to see a lot of money, so they had to let him go. He just before they even could let him go, you know what they did? They gave him enough time to resign. So he go work in the next city over and do the same thing. But we got this stuff called the Brady list, right? We could put him on a list where he loses police license, he can't ever, whatever. But even then, that don't work. They just don't let you testify in court now because you're untrustworthy.
That's the other thing. That when a cop do something, right, and then they go home with paid leave. See,
vacation.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. I'm gonna tell you why I think it's ridiculous, and I know what I think would have helped to prevent so many police officers pulling the trigger. Right, if you pull the trigger, you go home, right, turn your badge and your gun in, you go home, and when we done with this investigation, then you get paid after you go back to work. Like hit him with the money. You know what I'm saying? Take that money out, but you gonna kill somebody and then go home with paid leave, right? That's not accountability to me.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, that's not
because
accountability.
anytime a police is involved in a situation like that, whether it's right or wrong, you know what I mean, the investigation has to, be processed through to determine whatever. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, if an officer's found to be a problem, he's constantly getting complaints, we got him on video, doing multiple things, instead of trying to withhold the body cam, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and let it be what it is. And then instead of saying, oh, you have qualified immunity, which is outside of just walking, you know what I'm saying, and don't always work. But if you have money, if you have intelligence, you don't just leave them to the district courts, because the district courts and the district attorneys, these are people they know. So you didn't have to go to a circuit court for them to say, no, this is well understood doctrine. The Fourth Amendment there's nothing to negotiate. It's stare decisis. What he did was he violated his Fourth Amendment rights, and he does not have qualified immunity for this. And on top of that, he abused them. He banned them. You know what I'm saying? He whatever. But the other thing too is after they say, oh, you don't get qualified immunity, you know what the cities will do after that circuit court says you don't have qualified immunity, you're responsible for this, you can be sued. You know what the city will do? They'll indemnify. So now they're still not responsible. The taxpayer's still paying for it. But if they had to have insurance like a doctor, so if a doctor has malpractice or malfeasance, it came about their union or about their pockets, and they had to pay those deductibles, they'll stop killing people.
So
the insurance companies will make sure they stop killing people.
So
they don't want to pay the insurance.
So let me ask you. So we gonna seal this one up, and we gonna go to another one. I got you on the line now. It's on and popping. Thanks again for tuning in to the Average Man Podcast. I am the Average Man. My guest today is
another average man,
Coach Tyrone, Coach Fidel.
Yeah, that'll work, Coach Fidel.
Yeah, Coach Fidel. Boy, we used to coach some baseball though, man. I'm excited about this season, bro.
And football too. Don't forget we did football.
Hey, but dig, I gotta seal this one up. So, defund or restructure the police?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
When I say defund, most people think, oh, we're just taking money from them. No, we're putting more money back into the schools so we can educate these children better so they don't make grave mistakes without thinking.
Hold on, wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute. No, hold on. So you saying take the money away from the police and give it to the school?
No, what I'm saying is it's the people's money. We're not taking anything from anybody. It belongs to us. That's the problem. We, the people, are the government. They are the representations. They are a part of our society. If there's a broken part in our society, which education, the prison to school pipeline is ridiculous. There used to be bands. You'd have to pay for these instruments because they were afforded. There were art classes. They were after school. The teachers didn't come off their pockets to buy art supplies. There were field trips. There were nutcrackers. They were taking them to the museum. They were giving them culture, giving them a reason to see some things outside of their neighborhood, who they could be, not where they're stuck at. Okay? So that's one part of it. Then, when you have situations occurring with people with mental disabilities or special abilities, like I used to like to say, or mental health or any other aspect of seizures or whatever's going on with a person medically, instead of the police always showing up first, how about you send a medical person? You know what I'm saying? And maybe the paramedics don't get there right away. The fire department don't get there right away. Maybe there's a social worker needed for a kid who has autism and is having a behavior. The police should not be called for every single thing, and it's not their responsibility. They're not trained for that, bro.
But this this what I'm asking you now. All of this stuff that you said is gonna cost some money. So I don't see how you gonna take. Okay, so let me read you this. I got the police department in the United States, including cities like St. Paul, are primarily funded by local government budgets, with some additional funding from state and federal sources, right? So here's how police funding typically works. Local government main source. City and county budgets. Most police funding comes from municipal or county general funds, which are supported by local taxes, such as property tax, sales tax, and local fees and fines. So with this money right here, that's paying the police, there's also some of that stuff coming already for the kids, the schools, or whatever. The problem is, I believe the problem is that they're not dispersing the money properly. So I believe, so I remember one time we at Wright Street, and I was over listening to a meeting, and I think every year they give the rec center so much money. I believe one time they took more money to help build a police shooting range. Therefore, we had to spray paint our own helmets. You remember that season?
I remember.
You know what I'm saying?
I was sitting there talking to the cops, and they was talking about they wanted just to put a cop car. They said just put a cop car right there with by that store.
Yeah, and so
the whole conversation.
Yeah, and so I'm saying that. I mean, geez, the first thing that they always cut is from the schools, right? But let's go back to the funding for the police.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think taking the funding from the police, and giving it to the schools. I think we should keep it there, keep that money there, right? To do all the necessary changes that you just been speaking about. Like you were saying that a cop shouldn't have to go to every call. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's going to take a little more money to replace the cop that's not going to the call for a mental person to get there to help a kid that's just tripping out on autism or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So
imagine this, Coach. Imagine this. Imagine that you're an officer, right? You live in St. Paul. You're a rookie. You're fresh out. You grew up in St. Paul. We're in St. Paul, Minnesota, right? You love your community. You meet a girl. You fall in love with her. She's from the suburbs or whatever. But you want a better life for your children. So you move out of St. Paul to a suburb. Now that money that you're making from St. Paul, the taxpayers here, is going to go into that suburb. That money's not coming back here. Our schools aren't going to get that money. Our taxes, you're not paying the tax. Even when you go grocery shopping, you're going grocery shopping at those stores out there. So we're losing that residual income. It's not circulating in our community. But yet you're getting paid from here. So that's another issue. You're losing attachment with the people in the community because you're no longer present on a, you don't have the anchor that holds you to this community because this is my community. I want to see these kids thrive. I'm gonna show up to the baseball game. I'm gonna root for the North Star, whatever. No, your children don't play with these children. Your children don't go to school with these children. Your children go to school out there. So now we can't even afford to pay our teachers. There's teachers that'll be at schools, and they're great teachers. They want to be there, but they got families too. So when they get an opportunity to go to a school that's going to pay them better, that's what they do. And our children are left with less. And this is what's constantly going on. And like I said, you understand the culture of police. It's not like police going there, I want to be a big bad, beat up people. No, but it is a dangerous job. But at the same time, think about it. They bust a drug dealer, right? Everything they get here is the feds get like half or something. They get half the money or something like that. And they get the cars for auction. They also make money from that. They get grants from the government for how many safe DWIs people they get off the road. They get money from that.
Okay, so since we're getting all this money from this and money from that, right? Right? Let's get rid of the bad cops.
How?
Oh, that should be simple. If records are correct, all you got to do is go through records. Got to go through records.
Their union, man, they have a very strong union, bro.
Well,
and unless you have individuals who want to be leaders, and people don't let them be leaders, let's mind that, because there are officers who come who have that natural knack for just upholding the law, like I said, they're from the community, whatever. Even if they
yeah, we need more of them. We need more of them. We need more of them. So
they start off that way.
So we're gonna
start off that way. But like I said, you're going to see little kids being molested. You're seeing a woman getting raped. You're showing them to an incident.
But they sign up for this, man. When they go through what did it say?
Police Academy?
Yeah, 12 to 16 weeks or whatever.
So they sign up for this, right?
12 to 16 weeks. Hey, they didn't watch Dragnet before. Oh, see, I stole my age. I said Dragnet. They didn't watch. They didn't watch police shows before. They didn't watch First 48. They ain't sleep to the fact that what they're doing is not dangerous, or they might see a head blowed off or something. That's what they signed up for. So anyway, this is what we're gonna do with that. We're gonna leave this one to the next time. I'm gonna go to another topic.
Come on, man. You can't just cut it off like that, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to another topic, bro. I got another one. So, Dwayne Wade says his trans daughter, born male, Zaya Wade, knew she was transgender as young as 3 years old. Now, what made me sick about reading that was I had to say she, but I don't want to because it's still a boy. What you think?
I like science. You know, I believe that everything is structured the way it is, and some things can be. You can split an atom. You know what I mean? But ultimately, it's still what it is. You're not. That's why scientists say they're discovering. They're not creating. It's already existed. You know what I mean? We just discover how to operate within the code that already exists by those who created this beautiful universe we live in. So if your molecular structure says you don't have a uterus, you don't have a fallopian tube, you don't have eggs, you're not a female.
Mm-hmm.
A female plant is a female plant, and a male plant is a male plant. Now, can they be merged or can they be manipulated? Yeah. But, I mean, everybody starts off in the womb as a female. Then the atoms split. You got your YY, your XY, and you got your XX. You know what I mean? But never the two shall come out to be, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo. Hey, again, y'all, this is the Average Man Podcast. I'm kicking it with Coach Fidel, Coach Tyrone. He gonna always give you a history lesson on a question. I'm telling you, the man is a walking history book. He get on my nerve a little bit sometimes, but it's cool though because I love him. I done had to sleep on his floor. before, and he let me in. You dig what I'm saying? So we stuck like glue. We are living single.
Why you gotta say all that? Man? I just did what the creators allowed me to do. It ain't me, man. It's the creators operating through me. I'm just obedient. You know what I'm saying? None of this is me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a humble servant. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I'm still a human. I try to be a good conduit. You know what I mean? And find the balance, find the center. Sometimes I don't. You know, sometimes my brain don't let me, my heart don't let me act right sometimes.
And sometimes the Lord ain't through with me yet.
He's still working on me.
Who left the gate open?
Yeah, who left the gate? I'm a work in progress. But that's a very good, interesting situation. You know, I believe that children should be subjected to any form of sex. I believe that's abuse to me. You know, like they're children. You know, they have imaginations. You know, I was telling my homies that, you know, I lost a little boy. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere along becoming a man, I lost that little boy. And see, that little boy,
What happened?
my phone. Man, I need to go to bed, man. I need to go to know. I just like hack my shit or something.
No, we ain't doing none of that. We live. Hey, again, thanks for tuning in to the Average Man podcast. I got my guest, guest, Coach Tyrone.
Man,
But
stop talking that, man.
Coach,
Nobody calls me Tyrone.
Coach Fidel.
You don't even call me that. That's why you call me that. That don't sound right.
Well, Coach, I gotta kind of try to be a little professional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't want nobody singing to me. Erykah Badu and all of that, you know?
Call Tyrone.
See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
Hey,
They
look,
gonna strike your channel.
we go back to the Dwayne Wade thing. I just say that Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So that's my thing, right? I believe our society has fallen so far from God that it has taken away from the total essence of what the truth is. Because the first thing they'll tell you is God doesn't make a mistake. Okay, so then why are you trying to be a girl when you were born a boy? So to train up your child, like, I don't know, I could just imagine me coming to the house one day and my mom in the kitchen cooking, dad, watching the Wheel of Fortune or something, and I say, "Mom, man, I don't feel like a boy. I don't feel like the rest of the boys." Well, what you feel like? You know what I'm saying? And so
That's a good question,
once I tell, hey, once I tell,
that same Bible you quoting says, "Let the wheat and tear grow together." So
but
I mean, like I was telling you earlier,
but hold on, bro, hold on, bro. Ain't no wheat, no tares growing together, right? Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach my son like the way God said things should be, and the reason why they should be the way they should be, right?
So would you say let he without seeing cast the first stone?
I ain't judging nobody. What I said is that I'm gonna teach my son what the word says and how he should be.
Or daughter,
Or my daughter, right? I'm gonna teach them the difference of why they should be and the science behind why they should be who they are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let my 3-year-old, right, who could one day want to be Princess Leia, and the next day want to be Yoda, and the next day want to be something different because that's what 3-year-olds do.
Exactly.
Their imagination, their imaginative stimulants have been captured by phone devices and internet and Instagram and all of these things. Like, I, you know what? I watch little kids, bro, and their parents, to get them quiet. The first thing they do is give them a phone.
True indeed. True indeed.
You know what I'm saying? So now you've made your kid a slave and addicted to a device, and and you can and you can see it. You take the device away, they go crazy. They fall out, they cry, then you give them the device back, you know. But no, we can't allow the world to teach our children. They have gender clinics, bro.
What? They have a what?
They have gender clinics.
What does that mean?
So I believe, that would be good to have her on the line right now. Well,
so okay.
I have a friend of mine who does reception work for a certain hospital, and they have gender clinics. And so what they do is the parents bring their child, 2, 3, 4 years old, to help them identify with the gender that they want to be. So they start giving them the hormones.
Pause. Now, when you first started talking the transgender thing, I know my mind is just whatever. I was thinking like teenagers or young adults. I've seen that one with the person you was talking about, the athlete and the actress girl who her daughter ain't dressed up like no man.
So
I don't know, but whatever.
You got Instagram? Do you got Instagram?
Yeah, I have Instagram.
Okay, so look up this. What did it say?
It's early in the morning, man.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
4. Yeah, it's 4:00 in the morning. Man, why you been on my phone this long, brother?
Man, we ain't talked in a long time, but
Bro.
we get together, get deep. This average man you know how we do.
Hey, well, y'all, it seems like we gonna have to go to bed or something here.
No, we ain't gotta go to bed. I just don't want to try to look at that. That's young kids. That's disturbing.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay, well, yeah, so here. I'm gonna look up the preacher that was supposed to been praying at Donald Trump's when he got voted in.
Inauguration.
Yeah, and she got on there pleading with Donald Trump that we have homosexual and transgender children, and I was like, wow. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, you talking about Jimmy Carter's funeral?
Man, no, it was after that.
No, that was Jimmy Carter's funeral. She gave the eulogy.
Was that it?
That's it. The blonde-haired lady who Obama passed the note to.
Tonight, a bishop takes on Trump and pleads with him face-to-face to, quote, have mercy. Tonight, a bishop takes on Trump and pleads with him face-to-face to, quote, have mercy. The Episcopal Bishop of Washington pleading with President Trump to show compassion towards undocumented immigrants and the LGBTQ community today. A dramatic moment coming during her sermon at today's National Prayer Service. I'm going to speak to the bishop in just a moment, but first, so everyone can understand exactly what happened, I want to play for you the moment and show you at the same time on the screen the president's reaction.
Oh man, it was funny.
Let me make one final plea, Mr. President. Millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Reverend Marianne Edgar Buddy, the bishop at Washington National Cathedral.
I said to myself, when I
She called him
first,
Mr. Trump, though?
yeah,
Not even President Trump.
she called him President Trump.
Oh, did she? Okay.
Yeah, she called him President Trump.
I would hope so.
Yeah, man, it was.
She don't plead with him. I mean, but that's what clergy's supposed to do.
It was so.
Unity is relatively easy to pray for on occasions of great solemnity.
She said,
It's a lot harder
I'm trying to get to the part where
to realize when we're dealing with real differences in our private lives and in the public arena. But without unity, we're building our nation's house on sand. And with a commitment to unity that incorporates diversity and transcends.
Bro, you got to look this up though, because Trump looking at Melania like, what is she talking about?
I said.
Disagreement, and with the solid foundations of dignity, honesty, and humility that such unity requires, we can do our part and in our
This ain't
time
the funeral.
to realize the ideals and the dream of America.
This ain't the funeral.
Let me make one final plea, Mr. President. Millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God,
Is it?
I ask you
White, blonde-haired lady.
to have mercy upon the people
No, she ain't
in our
blonde.
country who are scared now.
Yeah.
There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children
You
in
hear that? Did you hear that?
Democratic, Republican.
Listen.
There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families.
What is wrong with her?
Some
I don't get that. I don't understand how they can do that coming out of the pulpit like that.
Because Obama passed that note that told her to say that.
No, but that ain't the only church that's doing that. Like, it's a see, because this the problem with me is, right? So
Don't act like the music director ain't been gay for the last 50 years.
no. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't act like it's right in the eyesight of God. So now I'm figuring it. Okay, so if you were called to be a preacher, if you were called by God, all right. First of all, you should be defending the word of God.
True.
All right. And so if you're defending the word of God, where it says homosexuality is an abomination, man shall not sleep with mankind, nor woman with womankind, or the beast of the fields, or any of that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go even to the point where, okay, so yeah, that's Old Testament. This is the New Testament now, so we saved by grace. Okay, that's fine too. You could go there too, but then we can also go with Christ said that I didn't come to change the law,
But to fulfill it.
but to fulfill it, right? So yeah, we are saved by grace, so that's fine. I'm not finna judge you, and I'm not finna dislike you because you're homosexual or because of your preference. I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna agree with it either. Now I don't have to agree with it, to get along with you.
To respect them.
You know what I'm saying? I can respect you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I ain't finna be hanging out with you, right? We can play ball.
I was gonna say, why not?
I'm okay because, right? From my standpoint, back in the day, homosexuals weren't. I guess I'm still going off of old school homosexuals. They hung out at gay bars. They didn't look like regular people. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying.
Because I had an older cousin who was a famous gospel singer, and I didn't know he was. I kind of figured out once I got older. You know what I'm saying? My dad's cousin.
Yeah.
But he traveled all over the world.
Yeah.
And he wasn't super flamboyant.
Ain't no doubt. Again,
he didn't wear makeup or anything like that.
Again, no doubt about it. That's a lot of businessmen.
You see him with a male friend here and there. They weren't interacting like, because of course it was more discreet back then. But as time has progressed, I mean, in Roman days it was way more out there. You could go back in now; they're more out there. I mean, like, I don't have a problem with your sexual preference or who you want to be. That's between you and whatever.
That's yep. I got nothing to do with that. I don't have nothing to do with that.
Without sin, no blemish cast the first stone.
But what I'm saying is,
or you attempt to remove the plank from your brother's eye. Speck from your brother's eye. Remove the plank from yours first.
I got that. But what I'm saying is this: coming from the pulpit, right? You should be preaching deliverance more than acceptance, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Forgiveness, love thy neighbor as thyself. Like I said, to me, there's only two types of people. There's good people and there's bad people. You know what I'm saying? But then I think that certain officers should do the right thing. I just don't feel like it should be preached out of the pulpit or in our schools. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even like those laws, right? Something could be wrong with your kid, and your kid, they don't have to tell the parent. Like, so how do I help my kid? If I can't help you know what I'm saying?
That's mad disrespectful. Because
that's crazy.
This is
I'm like, you need to take him home and feed him then.
It's a flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. And I believe when the state starts to control, that's what I said. I'm a Republican. I'm not going to let the state control my thought process or my being. I'm going to respect what the civil society has agreed upon. Is to be legal, to be just, but also understand there's a difference between right and righteous. You know what I'm saying? You could be right about something and be totally unrighteous. Just because you're right about something, you got to be mean and aggressive and disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's the problem I got with most Democrats. I'm for real. You sit down and have a conversation with them, and if you say one thing, boy, woo, you talking about some name calling.
You used to be one of those people about 7-8 years ago.
I wasn't never no name caller.
How you a Republican?
Yeah, but
because that wasn't what people voted for. True. So now we have a clear definition, and the American people will decide how they like what he's doing, because now it's affecting in a way that people were not anticipating. People who didn't think they would be affected, like the folks who work in the federal government, they never saw this coming.
And
they never saw this coming. Sorry about that. People can make omelets. Everybody doesn't need eggs.
Of the county shifted to the right. That, from the standpoint of blacks,
I like this
but let me be very clear. I'm no supporter of Trump. I'm a supporter of truth and the facts. And here's the facts. The man won every swing state. He increased in terms of his voter turnout in his favor from the standpoint of blacks, Latinos, and young voters. He increased his numbers in that regard from 2020. 89% of the county shifted to the right. That's a mandate. We can sit up there and play around all we want to. In 2020, Trump didn't win the popular vote. He didn't win the electoral college vote. A matter of fact, the Republicans hadn't won the popular vote, if I remember
20
correctly, since
years.
2004. But they did this year. So 20 years after they last won the popular vote, they won the popular vote. They won the electoral college vote. The man won every swing state. And on top of it, 89% of the counties shifted against. I don't understand how people can look at that and say, there's no mandate. There's a mandate.
Well, it's a different
When that
definition of a mandate, I guess.
But the problem is that if you're the Democratic Party and you lost 49.8% to 48.3%, and you're looking at that 1.5% dip, that's an excuse for you to say, what we did really wasn't that bad.
some people didn't
We
show
should
up.
continue to do that.
Do you think
No,
that those,
don't continue to do that. Find a new strategy.
But do you think those groups, the black voters, the Latino voters, and the others that you mentioned, are they going to regret it soon?
Possibly. I think so. I don't like what I'm seeing from Trump. I didn't like what I saw with Zelensky. I didn't like what I saw with a few things. But in the end,
Zelensky?
I didn't
Yeah,
like it.
In
But
the Oval Office.
but in the end, what it comes down to is this. The American people, in their eyes, it wasn't about him. They were voting against what the Democrats were throwing in their direction. I don't only talk to Cuomo. I did interview Eric Adams. I did interview Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. America voted against the Democrats.
Did America vote against the Democrats, or did they gerrymander and
Come on, man.
the
Stop.
voter rolls?
Come on, Coach. You can't keep making excuses when I done already read to you.
I'm not making.
Hold
those
on, man. Let me go back to my notes. Let me see where I go now. Let me see. Did Trump steal the election? Where is
I
it?
didn't say. See, you keep. That's how you like to play with words.
That's what you said first.
That's not what I said though.
Yes,
But you keep saying that.
that's what you said first. Then you changed it.
When you say steal, no, I said in order for them to pull the magic trick that they're gonna pull, they have to tell you what they're gonna do first. So he kept saying they stole the election, because that's what he was about to do. And I said Obama fooled me.
You said
I said Obama fooled me. I said I ain't like Obama since what he did with Omar Gaddafi. I've been told you this a long time ago. I didn't rock with Obama. Everybody vote for him because he's black. How?
okay. So the public can see what I got up here. You can't see it, but you will see it when you look at the podcast. Hey, but y'all, thanks for tuning in to the Average Man podcast. I got guest host Coach Fidel. He's a very educated brother. Got a lot of history on his belt, but being this thing, he got me going now.
I'm an unapologetic constitutionalist.
Donald Trump germinated, gerrymandered precincts to avoid people.
I didn't say Donald Trump did it.
Okay.
I said Republicans. Those Republicans did it.
Okay. Gerrymandered. There is no evidence that any gerrymandering was going on. Republicans led effort including redistricting. Yeah, that's right. And changes to voting laws have raised concerns about voter suppression, but there's no evidence that had anything to do with the win. It's like that he just blew her out, bro. After they told us we was free. That's not the one, is it?
No, see, the Constitution always said we was free. The problem is that the Supreme Court judges came up with their own decisions and decisions and how they thought things should work. So then we had to create precedents like Plessy versus Ferguson. The Dred Scott ruling. I went backwards there because it was Dred Scott, then Plessy versus Ferguson, then Brown versus the Board of Education. But see, that's called a living.
What's her name? Fidel. I'm going to do this. That's what I'm going to do. I told you I got one more topic.
Okay, we'll tell you about on another.
We filed a complaint against.
Here we go.
Fidel, though.
Here we go. This is what we got.
We filed a complaint against William. We filed a complaint against
Smokey Robinson.
5:01 in the morning.
Smokey Robinson is being hit now, y'all. Like Smokey Robinson. Y'all know Smokey Robinson. Cruising together. My Girl, all of
All the
that.
Motown hits. All the Motown hits.
You did. They trying to say that Smokey Robinson and his wife been sexually exploiting people, like the maids or whatever. Now, let me remind y'all that Smokey Robinson is 85 years old. Okay,
He what?
85.
Ocho Cinco?
Him, Smokey Robinson Jr. We believe that Mr. Robinson is a serial and sick rapist.
You hear that, boy?
That's crazy.
Boy,
That's crazy.
that man came out there, and of course, it's a black light-skinned man too. One of them old dudes. He kind of remind you of Judge Joe Brown. You know?
You ain't no good. The first Green Eyed Bandit before Eric Sherman was Smokey Robinson. Let's remember, Smokey wrote for the Supremes, Temptation, Jackson 5. He wrote for so many people, his own groups.
Hey, yeah, the Miracles.
Smokey has a lot of publishing.
Yeah, man. They trying to get this $50 million, but I told them what to do. Better pull a Jay-Z on them. Come on.
It must be stopped.
The very man who swooned fans with his music for decades is now accused of sexual assault. But he's not the only one named as a defendant in this shocking lawsuit.
I'm Elizabeth Milner with Law and Crime. Smokey Robinson and his wife Frances are accused of negligence, sexual battery, false imprisonment, and hostile work environment. And those are just some of...
False imprisonment, bro?
Well, I'm going to tell you like this. It ain't true. Because you know how I know it ain't true? They said the lady name is Frances. That's my mama name. She couldn't have did it. Pope Francis just died. Nope, I don't believe it. Nope.
It must be stopped.
The very man who swooned...
Look what he said.
Robinson Jr. We believe that Mr. Robinson is a serial and sick rapist that must be stopped.
You hear how you said that?
Can you say that on YouTube?
Hey, it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Oh, so fair use? You're using this fair use for educational purposes?
It's not. I'm gonna edit it for. Bro, I got this part. You make it for not for adults only, 18 and older.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not ready for kids. Ain't none of my stuff is for kids. When I get stuff for kids, it's sports stuff. Like when I was talking about Steph Curry.
Okay.
Yeah, but
back to Smokey and accusations and them accused.
Mr. Robinson is a serial and sick rapist.
He said, this is what I don't like what he said, though. You got to see how he said it. He made me mad when he said it because he bent his lip up like he's finna spit. A serial and sick rapist and must be stopped.
He said, we believe, though. We believe.
Be stopped.
The very man who swooned fans with his music for decades is now accused of sexual assault. But he's not the only one named as a defendant in this shocking lawsuit.
I'm Elizabeth Milner with Law and Crime. Smokey Robinson and his wife Frances are accused of negligence, sexual battery, false imprisonment, and hostile work environment.
Negligence, false imprisonment, hostile work environment. Boy, come on, Smokey. Smokey ain't did none of that.
I don't know what Smokey did. I mean, his name is Smokey. He might be Smokey in the Bandit, Smokey in the Bear. I don't know.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Black people sure can kick a man when he down. Now, you know damn well Smokey Robinson ain't did no all of this stuff. They got one interview where they even say that that he ran up behind the girl and over 20 times.
What?
Yeah, that's what they said, boy.
Hold on.
That's what they said, boy. They said.
You're telling me that an 85-year-old man.
Hey, man, they said.
Hold on. And we talking about 1 day, 1 week? What are we talking about?
They said the one girl been
A civil lawsuit against Smokey Robinson paints a dark picture. So a civil lawsuit against Smokey Robinson paints a dark picture of alleged abuse and control. Gigi Graciette is in Chatsworth now with what 4 women say happened in your court yesterday.
Negligence, sexual battery, assault, false imprisonment, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and something I can't read.
3 of the women appeared at a
thing because of the words is in the way.
press conference masked and again choosing to remain anonymous. They are seeking, say their attorneys, a total of $50 million in damages. Now, according to the lawyers, the women accused Smokey Robinson and also his wife, Frances, of sexual battery, assault, false imprisonment, gender violence, and creating a hostile work environment. One of the incidents named in the complaint alleges that Robinson would often summon the women to his, quote, blue bedroom, and there he would assault and rape them. As to why the women didn't come forward sooner, their lawyers say they were scared of the Robinsons, and they were also fearful of jeopardizing their immigration status.
See what I'm saying? You just talked about that. You just talked about that. Now, they was over here working all this time, Coach. All this time. Now, they said Smokey been going up in them.
No, what it is it's the overlay for the underplay.
For the last 20 years.
I'm not sure. This is just my opinion, so I don't know if these ladies, I hope this isn't true, but this is what it sounds like to me, sitting on my heart.
It sounds like it's cahooted.
Like somebody said, we about to deport them. And the only way they're going to be able to stay here is if they got legal proceedings going on.
Agreed.
Maybe. I don't know. Because I don't see an 85-year-old man. I had a grandfather who was older. My grandmother's older, 83-some years old right now. She can't stand up and do all, come on now. How old are these women?
Hey, Coach, I'm 60. I'm 60. And brother, Philip Bailey. They could be brother and sister. That's what I'm saying.
He probably good. Ain't no telling. I mean, we all related in some way, right?
She worked the longest as the housekeeper for the Robinsons. From October 20, 2006 to April 2024. He raped her in 3 of their homes, namely the Chatsworth home, the Las Vegas home, and the Bell Canyon homes.
Pause.
He had a preoccupied.
Pause, Coach. Then you see how
damages.
You see how he said that?
Yeah.
Disturbing.
We filed
allegedly. He didn't give no kind of.
We filed a complaint.
Go ahead, man.
I know, man. It's the. I'm telling you. See, that's what we got to do, man. I got to figure out how to get. I got to figure out how to get you tapped in where you can see what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I got you. We'll talk about that. But this right here is it's disturbing how it's so easy to just convict somebody without a trial. Just buck break a man who's been instrumental in our whole fabric of being, has raised up a whole genre of music, created a whole new way to write. He didn't just write songs. He produced, he composed.
Occupation.
He was
What does that keep playing like that? What is that?
What?
What does that keep playing? The clip?
Oh, right here. So I get it off the little clip, and then when I made it bigger, it started playing. Because I'm actually trying to get to this one part.
I got you, OG. I got you.
But I think this is where it is, right here.
Of fondling her breasts and touching her all over her body against her will. she too quit in April of 2020. Experiences with Mr. Robinson. All 4 women remained silent because many of them worked at the same time. Too embarrassed to reveal their assaults by Mr. Robinson to each other. Once they broke their silence, an avalanche of emotions began to flow between them.
You use the word avalanche. An avalanche of emotions. I tell
Hence,
you,
they're all
remind
here
me of
today.
Joe Brown.
These
He reminds me of Joe Brown. Coach,
Yeah, man.
Joe Brown, bro. You
I'm
mean to tell me that Smokey Robinson, 85 years old, had access to 4 Mexican women?
Not just
These
him,
courageous 4 women.
not just him, but his wife though.
And his wife knowed about it. Do you know about black women and their husbands?
Let me ask you a question. Who else did they do the same story? False imprisonment, all is the same stuff. Who
They
else
doing it to P. Diddy and Bill Cosby and shoot. Who else?
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly and Jesus.
No, they ain't said Jesus false imprisonment on women now. Come on.
Oh boy, please. All Jesus did was heal somebody, bro. That's all he did. One week they were saying Hosanna, the next week they were saying crucify. You know Jesus ain't did none of it. Talking about police brutality. Shh.
You tripping.
Well, I'm telling you talking about police brutality? Please. Could not take the lashes that them people beat Jesus with, bro. That was terrible. That was terrible. That was terrible. But it was necessary. But it was necessary. It was necessary.
I mean, the perfect lamb, right?
He was necessary.
So my question is, not getting off the smoke, the green-eyed one, the Wonder Man, who helped Stevie Wonder become Stevie. I mean, there's so many people that he was instrumental in their music life. To not have none of this ever come out. So is he suffering from dementia? Does he have a medical thing? I mean, what's going on? Because his wife as well.
Hey
These are
man,
elderly people we're talking about here.
hey man, we got. So I'm gonna give you my opinion. It's close to yours. I believe all 4 women, right, need $50 million to stay in the country and not be deported.
They leaving to get that $50 million.
You did. They ain't even got to get the $50 million because Trump giving them $1,000 to get up out of here.
Yeah, well, I think that's just a ploy to get him to come in. So
he wanted to come back. We want him to come back. Just come back ready to raise your hand and say, I do.
No, I think he getting them to self-turn in. He said, we'll give you $1,000. They get there. They ain't getting they'll get $1,000 to go home.
I got another opinion on that too. I think what he's trying to do is appease the media and the people who are, he probably didn't even realize, man, we probably moved too fast on this. We need to get it done, but now we need to start figuring out how to do it right. So the next time, man, Smokey already got the P and the A on it already.
I'm not understanding how they said these 4 women would work together sometimes, right? Most times they work together, but none of them seem to see one of them having a distraught
right.
behavior or disfuddled nature, hair.
Well, if you watch the video, later today, you will see that they got masks on and sunglasses, and
So they're being very theatrical about it.
I believe they all came up with the same story because they all telling the same story. The one says that he would come out of the shower in his bedroom naked. Okay, my question is why is you in his bedroom?
Because she's his caretaker.
Okay.
She has to dry him off. Certain things he can't do at 85. He can't bend over, reach. She probably washes him off. She's leaving that part out too. And she's probably his personal care attendant as well. See, people like to twist and turn stuff around and leave things out like we're stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like we got ball brains. Like our brain come out of our head and bounce on the ground. We don't have ball brains. We think very intelligently and we can see past your point. And when you start doing performative things like wearing masks and glasses, like he don't have pictures of you already. He probably got cameras.
Right.
You know, just not know certain parts. So the places they're claiming this stuff happened, and I don't know if it did or didn't. You know what I'm saying? What they're allegedly saying happened. You know, this is just our opinion. It's not YouTube's opinion. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if this Smokey's guilty or not, but he is presumed innocent, so we're going to presume that he's innocent. That's how we're going to operate like the law does.
That's what I say. That's what I say. But I'm leaning more toward innocent than guilty.
Well, I'm leaning toward innocent all the way until they prove him guilty.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because for one simple fact is,
these are elderly people, bro. Come on, man.
For a couple of different reasons, I really believe that he being targeted. You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee you, famous black man in the news, it won't be long before we find out everything.
I mean,
I hope this, Coach. I hope they don't go in his house and find a bunch of baby oil. Now I'm gonna be hot.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I don't want to hang out with you no more, because you and everybody else, boy, I tell you.
I'm telling you, boy.
Man got 34 felonies.
Hey.
Ain't been to jail a day. They call him President Trump. We'll be there about 12:35.
Hey.
If you could open the door for us and just let us come search a little bit. They didn't do that today. Diddy ain't been convicted of nothing. They ain't got no felonies. Dude, they got one video of him kicking somebody up, you know, when they had it a million years ago. What did he do? He opened his mouth up about the People's Liquor Company. He started messing with white folks' money. Well, you got your 2%. Be happy with your 2%. You run around here talking about you're a Ciroc boy. You this and you that.
Right.
You pretending like you really running something, and now you're embarrassed because black folks finding out they started to buy stock. And they saying Diddy don't own this. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what? Hey. Hold on, Coach. Hey, y'all tuned into the Average Man podcast. I got guest host today, Coach Fidel. Continue, Coach.
I'm just an average man giving my average opinion. You know what I'm saying? My older brother.
Hold on, wait a minute. You can't be the average man. You are on the Average Man podcast, but you can't be the average man. And why come? Because I'm the average man, and I got something to say.
But I'm an average man too.
No. You got to be Coach Fidel, or you got to have your own tag. Now you got to have your own tag.
Well, I guess I can't be average, y'all. I just can't be a regular dude. Whatever.
Can't be the average man. I'm the average man. I'm LLC average man. This average man is LLC.
Well, you know what? I'm the male version of Shaka Khan and Whitney Houston. I am every man.
Uh-oh.
How about that? So check this out.
I don't know. You better not tell them some people that you every man, boy. That's a lot of genders here.
Hey, I'm secure in mine. I'm still my mama's son. I'm still my grandmother's son.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? So
hey,
I still
man.
got that feminine energy in me. I'm not out of balance, but I'm a man. I'm attracted to women. I love women. They smell good, especially black women. They're so beautiful.
Well, they
But
sure
anyway,
put it on
check
you.
this out though. Let me finish this real quick because the buck breaking is serious. When they do something like this, you know what I mean? And I'm glad I did ask you, was that the prosecutor? Because initially I thought that was a reporter reporting on the incident or situation, but not using words like allegedly. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know, just walking straight in to a lawsuit. You know, some litigation.
Right.
You know what I mean? By besmirching this man's character. You know what I mean? You know, just saying anything. But no, this is the prosecutor actually presenting the case in front of the judge or the jury and stating what he.
I think it's a press conference, a live press conference.
So
They were.
I'm gonna have to see this because even then.
Yeah, they reading off the petition. Yeah.
So, like I said.
Oh, hold on, Coach. Coach, I got one more. I got to do one more, Coach. You got to have another. You cut this one short, bro. I got one more. I got to hit you on this one.
Can we finish this one, please?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's finish this one, but okay.
Let me drive to the. Let me pull on the park real quick.
Be so slow, man.
You keep cutting me off. What am I supposed to do? You acting real average right now.
Are we there yet?
So anyway, my point is,
can we get there?
Without a conviction, this is how they talk about somebody. You know what I'm saying? And they're presenting as if he's already guilty. You know what I mean? They did the same thing with Diddy. He said, "Hey, can I pay the sheriffs, United States sheriffs, the marshals to guard me in my home? I'll be on house arrest." I'll say, "Oh no, you can have access to a phone. Well, I won't have access to none of that. You got my passports, everything. Oh, you tried to do this, It's just all these things to create guilt. You know, where everybody's running around here talking about no Diddy. It's become cultural. In what society is he gonna get a fair jury? How? When they put all this out there, what juror can honestly say they ain't heard about Baby Oil and D? Some old 78-year-old white woman who's playing cribbage, who's probably still heard about it on the news.
You got one difference. One difference, Coach. Right. Smokey been singing, and women of all kinds love Smokey. So it's gonna be hard to find. They're gonna have to get a real young jury. They're gonna have to get one of them woke juries. Because everybody love him, man. Ain't nobody finna convict Smokey Robinson. But I don't know now, because everybody love Bill Cosby, too.
And so check this out. The thing that is most
that's something to think about.
Too, is that they use that as part of the reason they were scared to come forward because of his celebrity.
Yeah.
So you just gave part of what their argument is, because of his celebrity. He's not that big of a celebrity in this day and age, so much so to where it would be a threat to you. You know what I mean? But I'm still questioning, how does 4 people reside in the same vicinity or household working together and not realize something's off with each woman at some point? You're Spanish-speaking women, and you can't speak in Spanish to each other about something going on? Does Smokey know Spanish? I mean, how is this possible? It doesn't even sound logical. It sounds more like somebody wants that man's publisher. He ain't giving it up. And before he passed away and his estate gets it, they trying to besmirch his character. You know, maybe put him in breach of a contract. Who knows what he's got going on legality with whatever publishing or whatever entity out there that's got rights to him. You know what I'm saying? That at the end of said contract, he retains those rights. Who knows? I don't know. It's just my opinion. However, I see the same thing happening with another brother. His character being besmirched and being checked and being put back in his place. I don't know. But I don't like the way it's being presented. I don't like the way it's always characterized as this big bad wolf character coming to blow the house down. This is an 85-year-old man we're talking about here, bro.
I dig it. And with that one, write in the comments on how you feel about Smokey Robinson being hit for $50 million,
and his wife,
for a lawsuit accused of sexual assault. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But I got one more, and this is gonna be the last one. This is gonna be the last one.
Share. Make sure you share with somebody else.
Hey, no doubt about it. Hey, listen. Shannon Sharpe. Now, I got to hit you with Shannon Sharpe.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
So, Coach, have you heard about Shannon Sharpe?
Yes, I've heard about good old Shannon. Another 85, another Ocho Cinco.
Oh, man. Shannon.
Was he 80 or 85 for Denver?
85, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Let me see. Shannon Sharpe's
so
number.
what about Shannon we gonna talk about now?
Hey, man, I don't know, man, because I don't understand how you
boost the ratings for y'all show that ain't getting the good ratings like it should have been getting?
No. I don't understand how you have to go there.
With the second recording that mysteriously just pops up?
You know, I don't understand. Like, so, and then you give a low-key R. Kelly video in text message form, right? If you read all of the text messages, bro, they talking about chains, collars, devices of all types.
They're talking about doing adult things. But she's like 19 or something, ain't she? She's pretty young.
See, I ain't talking about her. I'm talking about him. With everything that you got going, bro, what is wrong with you?
But you just said that they text messaging each other, though. It's not just him doing it.
See,
two to tango.
I think you missing my point again.
Well, show me the direction. Put me on, Square. Put me on.
Why are you so reckless? Why aren't you more careful? Shannon, your boy, Shannon Sharpe, your boy in jail. P. Diddy, that was one of Shannon's guys. They was all hoops. Yeah. Bro, you supposed to, first of all, you supposed to know how to cheat if you gonna cheat, bro. If you don't know how to cheat, you know what I'm saying, then don't cheat. If you married, then you ain't got to worry about cheating unless you just greedy.
He's not married to her.
I know he ain't married at all, but I'm saying
this is not his first.
But I'm just saying, bro, with all of the money that I could cheat better than him. That's what I'm saying. I would never get caught. Nobody would never know. You understand? With all of the money Shannon Sharpe got, nobody would never know about my freaky tales. So
but you gotta understand. First of all, you gotta understand something, man. OG, look, he got enough money. He ain't gotta cheat. That's the first thing. Women will accept a lot from a man with money.
Well, I used the wrong word, though. I really used the wrong word. I did use the wrong word. I'm glad you corrected me on that.
I'm just saying, like, you know, when a man got money,
yeah, because he's not cheating.
The thing about Eddie Murphy, he said, man, when you got money, you know, girl be at Eddie Murphy house talking about, don't like care about this pool, indoor pool, outdoor pool, tennis court, basketball court, bowling alley, and all of this personal chef. Why you acting like this, Eddie? Why you gonna be tripping like this? You know I love you. Like, quicking them up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know they say communication rules the nation, but money makes life a lot better. You know, it's so much
it
better.
It does, but the Bible says, what does it mean to gain the world and lose your soul?
So,
I think so.
We talking about how we become an entertainment industry. So, I mean, are they worried about their souls? I don't know.
Who knows? But my point, again, to what you corrected me on, it's not cheating because he's not married. So it's just being a freak. Okay, so you don't want I'm Shannon Sharpe. I don't want everybody to know I'm a freak. And especially when I'm freaking with a 19-year-old girl. I want this part of my life to be private. There should be some sense of, hold on, let me get my spare phone over here. I ain't finna text this shit over the line. You know what I'm saying? We in the streets, they used to do illegal stuff with our phones. We wouldn't put everything or say everything on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So I just think he needs to be a little careful with his lifestyle because even though he's just a sportscaster, you know, a lot of black kids look up to sportscasters. You know.
True indeed. I didn't know you used to do legal stuff. I'm a good Christian young man. I ain't on no problems. But my thing is that this is not his first situation. This is the second time where he's been on a recording and it's been put out into the atmosphere for everybody to hear. This to me looks like, and it's always felt this way. It's a political. Not political, but a publicity. Excuse me.
Hey, you know your boy Corey
Feldman.
He a comedian. Corey.
All right, Corey Hummel, or whatever his name is.
That's the first thing he said.
I mean, because think about this. You know, a long time people was questioning the brother's sexuality. He showed up to a game courtside with what was said was his stylist, you know, and whatnot. So, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I mean, 2 times in a row. First time you say, "Oh, I didn't know it was recording," and you know now you like, "Oh, this and the third," and y'all talking this outlandish. I mean, it's just look at what it's doing. You know, there's no such thing as bad publicity, and now he's the talk of everybody. You couldn't even finish this. You say, "Man, we got to talk about this." So everybody's talking about it. That's what they want. You know, people acting like, you know, Stephen A. talking about, "Man, I had to talk to the bigger ups, and then I'm the executive producer, and I brought him over here." And well, he was over there with Skip Bayless, the man who put you on, Stephen A.
But see, what Stephen A. was saying is this, right? You making me look bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just certain things in your character as a professional that you shouldn't even be messing with. That's for young kids, bro.
Plausible deniability is what I call that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. It's just certain stuff you don't do, man. I mean, like, come on. Like,
is he still working at ESPN?
Is who still working at ESPN?
Shannon Sharpe.
I think he resigned. Let me see. Is Shannon?
I mean, that don't make no sense. He resigned. I mean, he didn't hurt nobody. He ain't doing nothing illegal. Cause he on the phone talking freaking with. They all doing some freak stuff. Just cause they ain't telling nobody whatever, or they ain't on the whatever. They all doing it. I mean, come on now. Hugh Hefner was everybody's idol for how long? You know what I'm saying? This man had play bunnies and all kind of stuff, and having 3-4 girlfriends and whole shows about it. You know. But
okay, so here we go. As of May, Shannon Sharpe is currently on a leave of absence from ESPN following a $50 million sexual assault lawsuit filed against him in April. Sharpe has not been terminated from ESPN. He intends to return to First Take before the start of 2005. Stephen A. Stephen A. Smith has publicly stated that he's waiting for Shannon to return and supports and supports due process. While we separate,
We wait to see how it turns out, right?
Yeah, see how it turns out.
Because there's no criminal charges.
No. So while he's not currently on air, he is still with ESPN pending further developments.
Which is
in
owned
legal
by
matters.
Disney.
Yeah, Disney. Yeah, Disney.
Disney owns ESPN. They
Yeah,
own Marvel.
Disney.
They own a lot of entities.
The
They're a big
View.
conglomerate.
Everything left. They own everything left, don't they? Except my hat.
Oh, wow.
Because I got my hat to the left, man.
Yeah, loyalists. Anyways, back to the square. Because for me, like I said, this seems it's just too set up. The voices are too clean. Look, man, it sounds like some Spike Lee, She Gotta Have It scripts and Mo Better Blues. It's just too much, man. It don't seem organic to me. You know what I'm saying? It seems movie-ish. It seems Lifetime short film.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some cinematic soft porn. Like, come on now. Well, so now we definitely gotta believe you straight. You ain't in the closet. You ain't got no connection with P. Diddy doing your stuff all out here. You don't mess with little boys or stylists or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
That was besmirching your good Christian character. That Disney still needs you to have that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a yellow jacket. You got that gold jacket. You're in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? You got rings. You know what I mean? You're not just a sportscaster.
Yeah. You
You're
gotta,
a Hall of Fame NFL
you gotta carry
championship
yourself a
player.
certain way. You know, I was irritated with Anthony Edwards. Saw a clip on him of him going off on a fan about child support and how big his private is. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, not in front of the kids, bro, and these people. Remember, the dude that's arguing with you in the stands already paid for you, right? Paid for you to be here. So come on, bro. They came to see you. I'm saying that they pay to come see you play.
Okay.
So fuck what he talking about. I mean, you know, excuse my language, but you know, forget. Because so what happened was, you might have seen the clip.
I haven't, but you just went from Shannon Sharp to Anthony Edwards, who's still playing.
And I'm talking about athletes' attitudes and actions. That's what I'm talking about, right?
I'm gonna go check that out. You know,
so Anthony Anderson, some guy in the stands was telling Anthony Anderson about his child support and all this stuff.
That man from the Wolves, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, I make more money than you, and my is bigger than yours. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that's not cool. Like, that's not cool. Because you got impressionable kids. What did the
gentleman say to him, though?
It don't matter, really.
Okay, so once again, what did the gentleman say to him?
It
might not matter to you, but the fans might want to know.
Something to the fact.
Context.
I got the video somewhere.
Context is key, you know. Content is key. Content is king.
Let me see if I can find it.
Context opens that door to, you know, where we going. You know, what kind of house? Is it a clean house in there? Is it dirt? Is it stuff in the closet? You know what I'm saying? You know what? You know, you got, you know, because hey, if he says something, you know, whatever, you know, I don't know. But like to your credit, you are, you know, professional. You're everybody's watching you. All eyes on you. There's mics, cameras. You know it. You gotta be composed. There's children around.
What's that dude's name? Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. Ant-Man. We call him Ant-Man. You know, I told my cousin the other day. I said, he like a Swiss Army knife. The dude's to me. I look at him. I see Optimus Prime. He can transform into any basketball player. You know, he's got the skills. You know, the reason they didn't win last year is because they wanted to celebrate after every game downtown Minneapolis, throwing after parties and block parties. What are y'all celebrating? Y'all ain't even made it to the championship. Get a ring, then celebrate. But I digress. You know what I mean, yeah, he got to hold his composure. But Shannon, the sharp man, Mr. Gold Jacket himself, you know, John Elway gonna come save him. This how I know it's fake. Disney ain't got rid of him. They ain't walking away from him. Stephen A. gonna say some, oh, I was talking to the higher up at da-da-da-da, woo-woo. Get out of here, bro. You're the executive producer of this show. Y'all just want to build ratings. Shannon Sharp is a big catch. He's got some of the best ratings on his Shay Shay, Club Shay Shay. He got the liquor out. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, hey, I ain't have a problem going out here, you know, doing something with this little 19. It don't look the same when an older man's messing with a young girl. They look at he cool. You know what I'm saying? Not all the young girls gonna want to come mess with me. I mean, come on, man. Like this, it ain't the optics is. It look real staged to me. That's what I'm saying. And we know the world's a stage, right? So it just looks lights, camera, action, close the gates.
Yeah, he Corey Holcomb, that was his name.
The comedian, yeah.
Yeah, he made the same comment that it seemed staged. I cannot find this.
The Ant-Man thing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, let's finish on Shannon Sharp and we can pick that up at the next podcast, you know, and just do what average men do. Well, you know, I'm every man. You average man. So,
yeah.
you know, I'm just going to sell you.
Hey, so what we're going to do is, as we're going to ask y'all that questions. Don't forget, what do you feel about police reform?
Or defund the police and spread that money around the community.
Right. What do you think about Smokey Robinson?
The Green-Eyed Bandit, did he do it? Is he young enough to do it? And Francis.
And what do you think about transgender, raising your children, allowing your children, or not teaching your children the right thing about their bodies? And put your comments below. Share, like, subscribe, and until the next time, this is the average man signing out saying, trust God, people. Peace.